Standard of Practice 16-4, realtors shall not solicit a listing which is currently listed exclusively with another broker. However, if the listing broker, when asked by the realtor, refuses to disclose the expiration date and the nature of such listing, that it's an exclusive listing or an exclusive agency listing, an open listing, or any other form of contractual agreement between the listing broker and the client, the realtor may contact the owner to secure such information and may discuss the terms upon which the realtor might take a future listing, or alternatively, may take a listing to become effective upon the expiration of any existing exclusive listing.
So, wow, that's a real penalty for the listing broker that won't tell you what the term of their listing agreement is.
John, when does your listing expire, John?
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me? Well, I'm going right to the seller, and I'm going to ask the seller, and I can do this, and I'm not in violation because you wouldn't tell me. I can ask the seller, and I can even say to the seller, when your listing expires, why don't we sign this contract today so that when your listing expires with John, I'll just take over. Can I do that?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that, but now I'm speaking as the listing broker. If I had read this particular standard of practice, I now realize that I should cooperate a little bit better with my fellow realtors.
You should tell me because it's going to open the door for me to go talk to your client.
My failure to tell you when it expires gives you the right to go directly to my client. Now, when you go to my client, you can't interfere with my contract. Let's say my contract has another month to go. If you try to get that owner to stop my contract, that would be an intentional interference with my contract, and that'd be a ripe cause for a lawsuit. But you can talk to that owner about the fact of when that listing expires, you will take over. As a matter of fact, you can even enter into an agreement that will take effect the day after the listing expired.
I bet you many realtors don't know that.
Well, once again, I think that's a very good reason to have this ethics training course, is just to run through all of the articles and standards of practice, take a look at some of the case studies that we've talked about so that you have a better appreciation and understanding of it.
You know, a great differentiator between realtors and non-realtors is the code of ethics. And so knowing and understanding the code of ethics is paramount. And, you know, the National Association of Realtors, we think, done a great thing by mandating nationwide that realtors go through a training every 4 years, or initially when they're licensed, on the code of ethics.
You know, I would think as a realtor that I'd like to have the code of ethics up on my website.
Absolutely, differentiator.
I'd like to talk to buyers and sellers about it, because as we've gone through today, a lot of these provisions, we see how they showcase your professionalism.
Standard of Practice 16-5, realtors shall not solicit buyer agreements from buyers who are subject to exclusive buyer agreements. However, if asked by a realtor, the broker refuses to disclose the expiration date of the exclusive buyer agreement, the realtor may contact the buyer to secure such information and may discuss the terms upon which the realtor might enter into a future buyer agreement, or alternatively may enter into a buyer agreement to become effective upon the expiration of any existing exclusive buyer agreement, similar to the listing contract, the standard of practice that we just discussed.
Very similar. And notice that this was placed into the standards just recently, because what they've done is now that we've moved to having a lot more buyer representation, they've taken places where we talked previously about the listing agreement, and we have now talked about the exclusive representation agreement with buyers as well, trying to give equal treatment there.
Standard of Practice 16-6, when realtors are contacted by the client of another realtor regarding the creation of an exclusive relationship to provide the same type of service, and realtors have not directly or indirectly initiated such discussions, they may discuss the terms upon which they might enter into a future agreement, or alternatively, may enter into an agreement which becomes effective upon expiration of any existing exclusive agreement.
Notice the key words here, though. When realtors are contacted by the client of another realtor, this is to differentiate it from previously when you contacted the client directly.
But the same directive is, if you're contacted, you can discuss then the future dealings, not current, but the future dealings to the extent that you could actually enter into a contract for future services.
Right, because there are some sellers who are not satisfied with their listing broker, and they want some time to go out and try to find who the next one is going to be when that first listing agreement terminates.